Hello, people. I forgot my tripod. It's upstairs, so I'm going to prop you up somewhere. Don't worry, I'm making eggs, but I'm not going to show you this time. I have a feeling, again, this vlog is going to be a little bit shorter because I have quite a lot I want to do today in terms of 3D projects. I want to start... oh, why am I saying this? I want to start and finish a project today, even though I have the 2121 on the go. Now, there is a reason for this. First of all, it's Valentine's Day, and well, not today, coming up. And I was like, you know what? I should really do something. I wasn't planning on it, but then, I was like, this is probably a good idea. I don't want to be like spending too much time on it because I don't have a lot of time. It's only a week until Valentine's Day, and ideally I post it before Valentine's Day, and that's not very long. So then I thought, right, what models do I have so I don't need to make any new models? And I thought, wild. Deodorant, bam. They have a new Valentine's set, which instantly gave me an idea for an animation, so I'm going to do that. And then I started building up the idea in my head, and then more models came into the equation, as it always does. So it's actually going to be more work than I intended. And I also have to make the materials, but that's fine. I'm hoping I can start and finish it today and still do some 2-on-2 work. Hopefully. And I also want to make a video for tomorrow. And I've got some duties coming up with my other job, my main job. So I won't have the next 2 Thursdays off. Maybe 3 Thursdays, I'm not sure yet. So, yeah, today is like, I need to get stuff done. But in the meantime, eggs. 4 eggs. Eggs done. Now I move on to work. What time is it? It's so late already. 20 to 11. And I've done 0 work. But it's okay because now we are powering through. I know exactly, there's no guesswork, there's no multiple scenes with this wild advert. It's one scene looped. Let me explain it to you. We have clouds, okay? Clouds, pink sky, a little bit of glare maybe, so it's aesthetically pleasing, very lovely. And then poof, from the cloud comes up the wild deodorant. Poof. Yep. And then it goes back down beneath the clouds, and then as it comes down, poof, the body wash. And then poof. Oh no, then it goes back down, and then poof, the roller. I think it's just the third one. But that's where the problem comes in, because I was trying to think of things that I already have models for, and wild, I have the deodorant I have the deodorant model made, but I don't for the body wash or the roller. I think it's a roller, like deodorant roller. Yeah, I don't have them too, so I will need to model those. And then the other thing is the material, which I pray doesn't give me any issues. But you never know with materials. Sometimes they work, sometimes they're a ball ache. It's all the UV maps. That's all that relies on. So I just got to lock in. I'm going to make the models first and the materials, and I can just get started on the scene. Hopefully I have the material done soon, in the next half hour or so. And the models I can do before, say, 1. It's 11, give me two and a bit hours. It's going to push until 2 or 3, I already know. But once I do that, the scene should be fairly easy. The only thing I might have issues with is the clouds. I want the clouds to be along the bottom of the screen, and I want a poof animation, something coming through the clouds, like poof. So I need to figure that out. I've never done that. I don't think it's going to be the biggest issue, but I think in terms of my general style is realism, and I was thinking maybe I could make it look like cotton, cotton. And then it would be realistic, and it would look like it's sort of made by hand, but obviously animated in a way that can't be made by hand. That's the sort of style I want to go for, but I don't know how easy that's going to be, because I might just have to settle on clouds, because obviously I've only got a short deadline for myself. So yeah, that's the idea. And if you think my hair's greasy, it's because I've just had a shower, okay? I'm not greasy. I had a shower. So this is the model or the material that I'm going for today, and the gods have blessed me. Obviously I have to create each individual heart, that's fine, you know, that won't take too long. But I was wondering, I wonder if the hearts are on top as well. Now it wouldn't be the biggest issue if they were, but scrolling down here I can see that it's literally, they just wrap it around the sides rather than on top, which makes UV unwrapping it super, super easy. It hasn't saved like a ton of time, but that's, you know, that saved a good amount of time. That makes it literally do the hearts, get in Blender, do the colors right, and then just slap the hearts on basically. It's 11 o'clock, pretty much exact now, so I'm going to get started with it. And I'll check back in when I've made some progress. Now, does this need work still? Yes. Has it been harder than I expected? Of course. Is it going the way I wanted it to? Fuck yes. The camera doesn't really do it justice, but trust me, it looks alright. I've been doing this for, it's now coming up to 2, so literally exactly what I said. Be like 2, 3. I was going to do, saying that, I was going to do the model, the material first, and then the models, and then the scene. I've done one material. I've replicated the hearts as well as I could. So I've done one material, the scene, or kind of the scene. I think the general vibe is there, but I need to work on the clouds slightly. Not a lot, but slightly. And I need to add an effect where they pop up through the clouds and the puff of smoke comes out, which I think should be easy. But either way, the modelling shouldn't be too hard. The material's pretty much there. I just need adjusting on each model. And yeah, like I say, it's just that puff. Actually, wild is. That's the effect. You get me? That's just a quick update. This vlog is going to be so short. Might do a run again. Just get it a bit. Right, that's my sign. Good news. I've nearly finished my wild animation. Very cool. Bam! Looking like that. Bad news, I completely forgot about the vlog. Not this one. I forgot to post the last vlog and do a thumbnail. And it's literally bang on 6 o'clock. So I'm going to be doing that now. Hopefully I can get out for past. No one's watching them tonight anyway, so it's fine. But it's just, you know, I wanted to keep to that schedule. Hello. Guess what day it is? Bonus points for not saying Thursday. It's Monday. Is it Monday? It is Monday. So on Thursday, I didn't actually vlog a lot. And there is a reason for that. I wanted to create a wild animation for Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day is in 5 days. Now, in order to get it all finished and make sure it was posted on time, because I want it posted tomorrow, I just slaved away and I did it. As always, it was harder than I was expecting and did take longer than I was expecting. Kind of. Part of me thought, you know, there's no way I'm doing this in 1 day. And I was kind of right. But to the point that I got to in 1 day, I was very pleased. I basically did finish it all in 1 day. I just needed to render it over a couple of days. However, I also made it harder for myself because I essentially finished everything over, say, 4 or 5 hours. It's pretty simple animation. And then I decided to add some smoke simulations, and it became a little bit harder. I'll show you the process. As I was saying, I haven't really vlogged anything, so I think what I'm going to do is just show you the process of... Because I should have really been vlogging it along the way, but it takes, you know, it gets me out of the flow, and I was in the flow. So here we are in the wonderful app of CapCut. Amazing. So I just quickly slapped it in here. Frame 1. Right, so here we go. It goes boom. Yep, speed up, boom. Yep, speed up, boom. And then it loops back around. There we go. Few issues. First of all, I had the base animation finished. Like, ignore this little puff of smoke. I had it finished within a couple hours, because obviously that's fairly simple. The clouds were easy to do, the animation itself is easy, material was fairly simple, which actually again came out pretty well. I don't know if zooming in here is gonna, there you go, you can sort of see the, oh, not very well, you can sort of see the detail there. So I did the initial animation pretty quickly, and the issue came when I had the brilliant idea of adding smoke. My chair's doing my head in more than it's doing your head in, trust me. What it looked like was the products were coming out, but they weren't actually interacting with the clouds, which I don't know if it was just me being a perfectionist, but it didn't look right. It didn't, you know, there needs to be some interaction between the scene and the product. So I thought I'd add a little puff of smoke, which I did go into, I believe, earlier in the vlog. I can't remember exactly what I filmed, but I think I spoke about the puff. So I had a few different ways of thinking how I could do it. My first idea was I would make the smoke simulation be the cloud, and then have it make the wild products interactive. Don't know what that's called, like an effector, I think, to the smoke. Okay, problem is with that. How's this for an angle? Yeah, I was trying to, what was I even saying now? I was trying to make the product itself an effector, I think it's called, to the clouds. Now, because I want it to be a looping animation, I imagine it's possible to do, make this simulation loop, but there's too many headaches, and this is a simple animation. So my next plan was to have an object shaped like a cloud and just make the material almost go like a gradient and make it look like there's a little smoke stream coming up with the product, but that just didn't look great at all. Like, you could tell straight away that ain't a cloud. Then, which is always the case with simulations, I end up caving in because I want to do it without doing simulations, just to speed up render times. But then turns out the smoke simulations that I was doing was so basic that it barely even affected render times. So ended up being good. One problem: the boundary box, the way I made the clouds, and I'm explaining this, and it might not make sense. Oh, the way I made the clouds was with metaballs, I think they're called. And if you don't know what a metaball is, then that just sounds like I've made that up. Metaballs. Sounds like something Mark Zuckerberg would set up. So I used metaballs and then used a volume and then turned the metaballs into volume and made it look cloudy. This is the rundown. But I am also going to make a video for TikTok and Instagram how I did this, so more detail. The boundary box of the clouds, which is the volume boundary box, for some reason when the smoke was coming up, when the boundary boxes were overlapping, it was causing like a lighting effect on the smoke itself. So when it would go past the volume's boundary, it'd be like a harsh white line where the light is bouncing off the clouds and sort of creating like a harsh line, if that makes sense. It might not make sense. In fact, I'll put, I don't know if I have one, but I'm going to find an example here. That's exactly what I meant. So that was a headache, which obviously I wouldn't have had if I didn't think that I wanted to do clouds, but in all fairness, the clouds make it look so much better. So I did that and I sorted it. Basically what I did was I carved out sections of the clouds that you can't see underneath the product. So there's just an open hole for the products to come through and then the smoke to come through, and it won't be affected by the volume boundary box. That is the case, all apart from, and this is me telling you an error in the video that I can't change now unless I want to postpone the video. I'm rendering it in 4K, even though I'm posting it 1080p on Instagram, because they don't do 4K videos, I don't think, and TikTok. It still looks better, in my opinion. I might be completely off base saying that, but as far as I'm aware, it looks better. Even though I'm pretty confident they're still 1080p videos. I don't know, I don't know, but I'm rendering in 4K, so it just takes too long, so I can't actually change it now. But on the third, like the body wash, wild part, the third product that comes up, there is the smoke for some reason there looks slightly lower quality, and there is a frame frame or two that you can see the harsh line, but it's covered, or it's kind of hidden in the reflection of the bottom of the bottle, where it's also a bright white light. So you can't really notice it unless you're a perfectionist like me. So I figured that out and it looks okay. Oh, and then there was one more thing. Last night, like I said, today is like the day where I need to sort out the sound still. I need to have some sort of sound effects going on so I can post it tomorrow. But last night, overnight, I rendered it, and it takes a couple hours. I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, say. I think it's like 5 minutes a frame, and each part is 72 frames. So whatever the maths is on that, 7 hours, something like that, 6, I don't know. So I rendered that out last night, and I thought, I don't know why I did this, but the max bounces for the light paths, I decided at the moment the volume is at 8 and everything else is at 6. It's quite high, but because it's a cloud material, it needs to have the right amount of bounces to make it look good. 6 normally is the most I'll go to. I decided to go with 8 on all the other shots, and then for some reason I'm turned this one down last minute to 6. I don't know whether it's because I was thinking about render times, but it didn't matter because I was doing it overnight anyway. I've just put them together and the shot is slightly different colour, and it's very frustrating. And again, I'll put an example here. As you can see, in between the shots, the colour changes slightly, and it's a bit annoying. There's nothing I can do about that now. Well, there is something I can do about that now, and that is re-render it. And I am going to do that. I'm going to hit render in a minute, and that's going to take however long I said, 6 hours or whatever. It's currently 6:30, so I won't see it done before I go to sleep. When I wake up, it'll be finished, and in the meantime, I'm going to do all the sound effects. The video itself, like all of the product timings, animation timings, all of that, it will remain the exact same. It's just that there's a slight difference in color, and it's not down to, I was trying to do some color correction and it just wasn't quite right, and I'd rather do it properly rather than fix it. So I'm going to sort out the sound effects now, and then in the morning I can just quickly drag and drop the new clips over the top of the old clips. It'll be same timing and I can post it. That's the plan anyway. The vlog might now actually be normal length. I don't know. I think it's still going to be short. It's still going to be like 10-15 minutes. But yeah, that's where we're at. What else did I do? I didn't do much. Well, I did that, which I'm happy with. I haven't done the 2-1-2 animation in a while, in like a week or so. Well, a week. But like I say, that I'm happy to put a halt on that for the minute because I've got this sorted and I'm happy with this. It is looking good, despite the issues. They're very minor issues. Re-rendering, being put back. It's not really putting me back anytime because it's still going to be posted tomorrow. So it's not a bad issue. It's just the things I've faced along the way for something that I expected to have 0 issues. I don't think I've had a single project where I've had 0 issues, which is a good thing, because I think if I wasn't pushing myself to some degree, then there wouldn't be any learning, and I wouldn't be getting better. If I just stuck now to just what I know, I would never be learning anything. I would never be pushing myself out there. So as small of a project this one was, and as quick as I got it sorted, there was still a problem. I fixed it. Very cool. And what else is there to report? I don't think there's much, to be honest. I still do need to do the 2-1-2, but I think again that's going to be fairly easy. So there might be 2 posts in February, 2 animations, which I, by the end of the year, maybe would like to do 15. I feel like 15 is a decent show. I could do a lot more, but like I say, I like to have big projects, not big projects, but projects that take a bit of time. I don't want to do loads of, and also I don't count like a small test render sort of thing. That is a project. I like full complete projects, and this is a full complete project. It's not got multiple shots. It's not complicated, but it's I'd be happy to have Wild post this on their page, and that is what I class as a finished project. You might see my face again because I might show you. In fact, you probably will, because I'm going to show you the sound that I add. I'm not going to add much. I'm thinking ethereal, continuous backdrop, and then product comes up. But maybe to make it a bit more exciting, I'll do, instead of just like the sound of it coming through the clouds, I could have like a like a magic wand sound, like blue, 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 that sort of thing. What do we think? Good? Awesome. I thought the same.
Hello, I am back. For you, it's been 3 seconds. It's Tuesday night, and here is the animation. I'll go. Shh. Wow, incredible. I decided not to go with the like ethereal vibe because it didn't really sound that great. And then I thought, it's sort of girly, and girls listen to pop. That's not the exact thought. That's not the exact thought process, but roundabout, I decided that pop type music fit the style quite well, and I found a song that repeated, or a beat that repeated every 9 seconds. The animation is 9 seconds. It is a perfect match. It came out pretty well. I posted it earlier today, and I think it got 3 likes. It's doing a bit better on TikTok, about 20 or so. We're getting there. We're getting there. So basically, mission complete. I managed to do that. I mean, obviously it is a week later, but the animation itself, I did in a day, and it hasn't taken me weeks and weeks like some projects do. Now, not that many of you will care or even notice if I don't post next week, because there's none of you here. But I might not post next week or the week after because I am busy the next 2 weeks. So I might just focus on like TikTok, Instagram instead of these vlogs, because they don't take a lot of time to do, but I like to do them during the day. I don't want to have to get home from work, like actual work, and then come home and vlog, because I won't be doing 3D stuff, much 3D stuff over the next 2 weeks anyway, so there's no point in me vlogging. It'll just be a shit vlog like usual. I know I don't want to give up on actual valuable social posts, stuff that actually gets interactions. That is the current plan, and if you've watched all of this, comment, holy schmoly, that's what an incredible video. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. I'm not sure what I say, I don't know when it will be, but I'll see you then. Hopefully my vlogging skills get better over the next 2 weeks. Adios.